Слава Україні!
Introduction. Welcome to this special Delta history documentary, Ukrainian FPV drones versus Russian Brigade, the future of modern warfare. In the next 50 minutes, we'll take you deep into one of the most transformative evolutions in modern conflict. We'll explore how Ukraine, under siege, turned necessity into innovation, using first-person view, FPV, drones not just to survive, but to dominate the battlefield. From homemade tools to precision-guided killers, these small and inexpensive machines are redefining what military power looks like in the 21st century.
Було народжено більше 3000 дронів та безліч супутнього обладнання. Бажаю вам в 2024 році не зупинятися та наблизити перемогу. З Новим роком!
Birth of a drone army. Long before the world took notice, Ukraine's defenders were experimenting with modified drones in garages and workshops. Initially used for observation and artillery coordination, FPV drones rapidly evolved into offensive weapons after the 2022 invasion. Civilian tech became militarized. GoPro cameras were repurposed for targeting. 3D printed components were made in bulk. Explosives were engineered to be light and aerodynamic. This movement was fueled not by top-down directives, but by grassroots networks of volunteers. From engineers in Kiev to farmers in Mykolaiv, people contributed their skills and knowledge. Their efforts were not only effective, they were symbolic. Ukraine was rewriting the rules of war with homemade tools. As Ukraine's drone programs matured, formal military structures began to adopt and standardize them. Specialized drone battalions were created, command chains were adapted, and a new doctrine began to take shape. From a scattered network of volunteer innovators, a structured national drone strategy was born. Anatomy of an FPV drone. FPV drones are deceptively simple. At their core, they consist of a lightweight frame, 4 high-speed rotors, a camera with live transmission capability, and a warhead payload. They are flown using goggles that allow the operator to see what the drone sees in real time, offering full situational awareness. Despite their small size, these drones are incredibly dangerous. Many are modified to carry RPG warheads, shaped charges, or even thermobaric payloads. Some are even adapted to function at night using infrared or thermal cameras. For a fraction of the cost of a traditional missile system, they can take out tanks, APCs, and fortified positions with surgical precision. The flexibility of FPV drones is key. Depending on the mission, they can be adjusted in weight, speed, flight duration, and payload type. Some are equipped with fragmentation devices to strike infantry. Others carry armor-piercing explosives designed for maximum penetration. There are even drones designed to deliver medical supplies or conduct surveillance in high-risk areas. The tactics behind the strikes. Tactical doctrine has evolved rapidly alongside the technology. Ukrainian drone operators deploy in small mobile units. Each mission is meticulously planned. Surveillance is conducted in advance, operators identify weak points, and attacks are timed to cause maximum confusion. Strikes often begin with a distraction, a small recon drone buzzing overhead, followed by a surprise FPV attack. In some cases, dozens of drones are launched in a coordinated wave, overwhelming Russian defenses. The psychological impact is significant, as soldiers report never knowing when or where the next drone will strike. Drone pilots work closely with infantry units, artillery spotters, and electronic warfare teams. The synergy between human and machine allows for split-second decisions. For example, a drone may loiter over a target area waiting for a high-value target to appear, then strike within seconds. Other times, drones are used to bait enemy fire, revealing hidden positions that can be shelled by artillery. Real battle. Brigade 56. Incident. Perhaps the most high-profile demonstration of FPV drone effectiveness came during the engagement with Russia's Brigade 56 near Avdiivka. This was a modern, mechanized brigade, well-equipped, heavily armed, and battle-hardened. But over 2 relentless days, it was brought to its knees, not by aircraft, not by artillery, but by dozens of small, explosive-laden drones. Video footage shared by Ukrainian forces shows tank turrets blasted open, supply convoys burning, and soldiers fleeing trenches. The damage was systematic, relentless, and terrifyingly efficient. Western analysts confirmed that this marked the first recorded instance of a modern brigade being rendered non-operational through drone warfare alone. It was a wake-up call to military planners across the globe. Satellite imagery taken after the battle revealed a trail of destruction. Dozens of vehicle carcasses littered roads and fields, ammunition dumps were cratered, defensive positions flattened. It was a victory not just for Ukraine, but for a new kind of warfare. Psychological warfare. FPV drones don't just cause physical damage, they induce constant fear. Russian soldiers have described the sound of buzzing drones as a psychological torment. Imagine trying to sleep in a trench, knowing that at any moment a silent killer could dive in from above. Fear leads to mistakes. It slows operations. It undermines cohesion. Commanders hesitate to cluster troops or deploy armored units, knowing they could be targeted in seconds. The mental strain is proving to be just as impactful as any kinetic strike. Some units have developed countermeasures, such as hanging camouflage nets or creating false targets. But even these are temporary fixes. Drone operators adapt quickly, often bypassing defenses with clever flight paths or new attack angles. Innovation on the fly. Unlike traditional militaries bound by rigid procurement cycles, Ukraine's drone program is agile and responsive. Designs change weekly. If a weakness is found, it's patched in the next production run, sometimes within 72 hours. Frontline units have access to mobile 3D printers and fabrication labs. Engineers embedded with combat brigades can tweak frame geometry, adjust payload configurations, or experiment with new control systems on demand. This rapid cycle of iteration means Ukrainian drones are constantly improving. Crowdsourced funding and open-source development have enabled even more rapid innovation. Drone blueprints are shared across Telegram channels. Testing videos are posted to encrypted networks. Failures are documented and studied openly. In this environment, failure isn't a setback. It's fuel for progress. Voices from the front. Let's hear from some of the people making this possible. Dmitro, callsign Falcon, recounts how he and his team used coordinated drone strikes to take out a column of 5 Russian tanks in under an hour. He speaks of adrenaline, pride, and the haunting silence that follows each successful hit. Oleksiy, a former IT entrepreneur, now leads a drone strike coordination center near Kharkiv. He talks about how software, machine learning, and battlefield intuition come together to execute missions that once required entire artillery battalions. They describe the camaraderie among pilots, the daily challenges of keeping up with Russian countermeasures, and the emotional toll of watching their targets, knowing each mission could shift the course of a battle. Russia's response. Russia has invested heavily in countermeasures, from GPS jamming to radar-based drone detectors. However, the decentralized nature of Ukrainian drone development makes it difficult to neutralize. For every type of drone jammed, a new frequency or navigation method is developed. Russia has also tried to build its own FPV capabilities, but progress is slow. Many of its systems are imported, poorly coordinated, or deployed without the tactical synergy seen in Ukrainian units. Additionally, internal corruption and rigid hierarchy continue to hamper innovation. Captured Russian manuals reveal outdated doctrine and poor training. In contrast, Ukrainian units constantly evolve. They share knowledge, conduct after-action reviews, and encourage field-level decision-making. In the war of drones, speed and flexibility beat size and tradition. The global impact. The world's militaries are watching closely. NATO exercises now include FPV drone scenarios. U.S. Marine units are training with similar systems. Taiwan has launched a national drone initiative, citing Ukraine as a case study. This conflict is accelerating a paradigm shift. Large, expensive weapons platforms are no longer guaranteed dominance. What matters now is adaptability, resilience, and the ability to produce effective tools quickly and affordably. Ukraine has set a precedent that will shape the next generation of warfare. Private defense firms are racing to produce their own drone variants. Military academies are rewriting curriculum, and policymakers are debating how to regulate, adopt, and defend against this rapidly evolving threat. Conclusion. The story of Ukraine's FPV drones is about more than battlefield success. It's about transformation, from civilian to soldier, from hobbyist to tactician, from resistance to dominance. It's a lesson in how ingenuity can challenge brute force, how unity, creativity, and courage can rewrite military doctrine, and how modern war is no longer fought only with steel and firepower, but with code, circuits, and vision. As the conflict continues, one thing remains certain: the battlefield will never look the same again. Thank you for watching this Delta History special presentation. Stay informed, stay critical, subscribe for more documentaries from Delta History.